What's going on, everybody? It's Rinaldi back here with my boy Dave, the One Piece Locals. He got it again, first place. What were you playing today, Dave?
Today I was playing Green Kid. I personally think that this is the best deck in the format right now. Not just because like the cards are powerful, but they're not the most powerful cards in the game right now by a lot. But like all your cards are good enough, and if you can keep value and trade evenly, then like it's really hard to lose with this deck. And the leader's insane.
Sounds good. What's the leader effect?
So the leader effect is you pay 3 Don to stand him back up, essentially. So like the Giga Chad play is you get them down to 1 life left, so you only have to swing twice, and you slap 7 Don on him, swing for 12. If they don't do anything about it, you pay your last 3, stand him back up, and swing for 12 again. But like you also do other things to make him really threatening. So 7 is a magic number in this game, and you can just like start swinging 7. If you've got nothing else to do in your hand, then you can swing 7, pay 3, swing 7 again, and just like make them use cards. So yeah, he's just like, they didn't build all the leaders equally in this game, and he is definitely one of the leaders that they put a cut above the rest because he's insane.
Sounds good. All right, let's get into it. What you got?
Sweet. All right, so the deck isn't split into the 2 halves, but I like to think of this deck in 2 halves: the Supernova half and the Wano half. You definitely play more Supernova cards, but of course we got 4 Bonnie. She searches your Supernovas, 4 of your 1-drop blockers. I'm pretty sure these 8 cards are going to be played like almost indefinitely because like they're just free. A one-drop blocker, they have to take care of it, or they don't get any of your life. And then this card is just a really good searcher. Close out the 1-drops. We've got 2 of the Momonosuke. I'm only playing 2 of this because like the Wano cards are good for dealing with boards, and they're good counters, but like they don't help you win the game. Bonnie helps you get cards that win you the game, which is why I'm only playing 2 of this and 4 of that. So that's all the 1-drops. 4-drops, literally just a 2K counter. The only matchup I can see me playing this in is the Blurple Croc matchup, but again, even then, he's probably better as a 2K counter. 4 of this killer is insane. Like, even if he didn't have the ability, you'd probably play him just because he's a 2-drop blocker, but like his ability makes it so he becomes a threat if you put a Don on him and you've got board presence, which you often do in this deck, because like you play your little guys to clear boards or like just get dudes, and he counts as your 3rd dude, so like he's just insane. Some more Wano cards. Actually, I'm just gonna put all of these out now to talk about them at the same time. So I maxed out on the 3 good Wano cards. So the idea behind this deck is if you go first, you get a chance to clear their board. Like, green just really wants to keep the opponent's board as clean as possible, so you can always have advantage. This is probably the best one to play into like weenie blockers and stuff like that because it only takes 2. But this one is really good. Again, this one is better because it's 2K counter and it taps 4 or less. So you can tap like Boas in blue, you can tap Black Marias for purple, like, and having 2K counter is ridiculous. So yeah, you just want to be able to deal with boards. And Okiku, she doesn't have counter, which is fine because her ability is just broken. Like, she's 3 for 5, which is already a good stat line. If you slap a Don on her, she's swinging for 6, and then she blocks every relevant blocker in the game right now. So like she blocks queens, or she taps queens, she taps all the weenie blockers, she taps boas, like she taps everything relevant in the format, or she taps the law as well, which is absolutely broken. So like she's insane. She's a card that like you slap on the board, if she sticks, then you get to abuse how much value you get out of her, and if they take care of her, then like they use resources to take care of her, so like it's fine. So that's the Wano. Those are the Wano dudes. Next, 2 killer to round out the 3 drops. This card is really good because this is a very aggro meta, because like start of a new game, everybody likes to go fast, and everybody likes value creatures. So like he pops the value creatures after your opponents use them, and then sometimes they just get caught lacking, and like they'll swing with something they weren't supposed to, and you get to pop it for free. Like, it's really good. Going on to 5 drops, no 4 drops in the deck, just because there are no real good like green 4 drops right now, unfortunately. I played 3 X Drake, so there are 2 ways to play this deck, and like you can play it where you get value passively, so like you get value during like damage and like just accruing value over time, and then there's a the version of the deck where you get value immediately, where you like play the card and then it does something. This card is 1k counter. It's 5 for 6, which is like a mediocre stat line, but being 6k is relevant because you can swing into things, into bigger things for not as much, and getting to KO something that's 4 or less is ridiculous, especially with like all the Wano dudes you play. So in the late game, if you've got a Wano dude and this guy, you can like kill a blocker or kill a threat. Yeah, he's really, really good. I've seen lists that cut him, and like I see why, but him having counter also comes up like a lot. It's a green deck, so I'm playing 4 of the law. I am a firm believer that if you play a green deck, you play 4 of this law, because not only is it 6k blocker, which is like a really good stat line right now, you get to like recycle your tap down guys. You can like bring back your little dudes if your little searchers stay on the board, or like you can play your searchers and then for 7 Dawn get to bring them back to your hand and play something else. This guy's ridiculous. This guy's absolutely ridiculous. All right, the bombs. 7 drop kid. I played 3 of it, so most lists play 2. I'm playing the 3rd as a tech for the green mirror match. So in the green mirror match, you actually want this guy over the 8 drop kid, because you can like swing for 9, which is good numbers anyway, and like it guarantees you a blocker so you don't die. And like it gives you something, it gives you a blocker to swing with for free into the 8 drop kid if they play the 8 drop kid first. So like this guy is really, really insane in the mirror match. And then of course we got the bling, the 2 alt art 8 drop kids. Yes, I did specify alt art because it's insane.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, everybody knows what this guy does at this point. He's the tower. 9 times out of 10 in every matchup except for the mirror match and sometimes purple, if you stick this guy rested with a blocker, then the game usually ends, because like 8k is just a lot to deal with right now. I didn't play him once today, but he's absolutely insane and probably the reason you play this deck. So those are all the dudes. For events, I played 3 Waterfall. Waterfall is absolutely cracked, and one of the reasons I wanted to play this deck, because like the numbers just match up. If you have something tapped down and you want to protect it because you play so many high value blockers, you can block and then pump up your blocker by 2k and then stand it back up so it gets to block again. Like, if you get to block with something more than once, it usually means the game is ending. It either means the game is ending or you're about to lose. So I think this card is absolutely cracked. And then 3 Punt Gibson, especially with the way the meta shifted now, keeping 2 Dawn up instead of playing like a blocker or something like that is more relevant, because it gets to rest a 4 cost or less after you play it, and it saves you a life. So like this card got better as the format went on. And then the trigger effect, it doesn't happen often because like of course you have no idea how to set your triggers, but like you get to rest any of your opponent's characters. So like if your opponent swings like they're supposed to, like going low to high, then you kind of get them a little bit by tapping down their big guy, and then it gives you a chance to swing on their big guy to make them either save it or you like clear the threat. So like this card is just insane. This is like value cards for the deck. And that's the list.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are there any other comments that you want to make, the deck, or just any comments in general?
I'll give a shout out to Easy Gaming for hosting locals. Give a shout out to Macante, where I've gotten a lot of my cards. Both in Greensboro, so if you're in the Greensboro area, you know where to go. One of these 2 shops. This deck's last 2 raw for me. I've been playing a lot of tournaments with this deck and been doing really well. I'm just moving on to new things, trying new things out. But yeah, the deck is really solid. While we're still in OP01, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the best deck just because like it doesn't have like the strongest cards, but it's got decent matchups going into every single deck in the format. So like you're good. Your worst matchup is probably purple and red-green law. And if you're playing someone that's good with red-green law, then like that's just gonna be really hard for you anyway. And purple has to like play on curve and like really draw all their bombs for them to be able to do anything against you. So it's just decent against everything. It's definitely a deck where like how you play determines how the game ends, more so than like the quality of your cards. But the cards are all high quality, so it works out. Yeah, overall that's it. It's a good experience. Always fun playing here.
All right, thanks again, Dave. Congrats on the first place win, and then see you guys in the top cut.
Sure.